take this list into account and show that you understand the CEO, and then maybe the CEO will like you. Hi, my name is Tom Haak of the HR Trend Institute. And the subject of today is what CEOs like. And it's especially for people in HR, CHROs and others, because of course when they know what CEOs like, they can benefit from that. And it's male CEOs, female CEOs. I don't make a distinction here. So, what is the order? And the order is, you could say, just as I put it on my list here. What do CEOs like? Number one, headhunters. They like headhunters. Why? Of course, because headhunters can help them to find a new job when it's necessary. And headhunters are very good in pleasing the CEOs, especially, of course, the headhunters from the top-notch executive search companies. They circle along the CEOs and they of course please them and they compliment them. And so in the company of headhunters, CEOs feel good. Number two, CEOs like mentoring young high potentials. For especially, you could say, male CEOs, they like to mentor young female high potentials as part of the global company diversity program. And mentoring, especially young people, because they are of course not very threatening. It will take a long time before they come near a position, near the CEO. So they like mentoring young people, high potentials especially. What they also like, CEOs like, is private planes. They will never say it, but if there is an opportunity, they like to fly on a private plane because, well, that gives them the status they want. And they will complain, of course, that, oh, well, yeah, even in a private plane, it's not luxury. But flying in a private plane makes them really feel like a CEO. Number four on my list is a crisis. CEOs like crisis. Not too big, but a crisis, because then in a crisis situation, they can show their value. They can show that they are really strong and good leaders. And of course, CEOs like an opportunity to shine. Number five, CEOs like to be busy. Busy, because that shows that you are important, that you have many things to do. You're so busy. And part of that is, what you like as a CEO is to keep your visitors waiting. We have all experienced that. You go visit the CEO, first you have to wait downstairs. The porter has called upstairs, said, well, Mr. Haak waiting here, you have to wait in the lobby. Then a secretary comes down and said, okay, Mr. Haak, come up. Yeah, you go to the 10th floor, the 20th floor. Generally, high is still good. And then you have to wait again. There's a small corner where the visitors of the CEO have to wait, and then 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, you're collected and introduced to the CEO, who apologizes, oh, I'm so sorry, but of course I'm super busy. And what CEOs also like is business schools. Many of them, of course, have done programs at business schools, INSEAD, Harvard, but now they like to come to the business school as teacher or as panelist. Most big companies have programs at business schools, the senior management program or the future leadership program, whatever they are called. And then on the last day, the CEO flies in, maybe in his private plane, if it's allowed. And, well, he or she likes that in the panel and having good discussions, and then the professor of course compliments the CEO, and that's also an opportunity for the CEO to relax a little bit and also to shine. So they like business schools not to follow a program, but to be there as I said, well, as a responsible person for the program. And what CEOs also like is to be interviewed. Interviewed, of course, preferably by friendly magazines, friendly papers, newspapers, and then in an interview, of course, also the CEO can show what he or she is worth, come with the usual important statements, and well, do some publicity. So they like to be interviewed. What more do I have? Collecting watches. Many CEOs like to collect watches, not of course Apple watches, but other watches, and then they will not show off, but they will show them, and then it's good for you to say, hey, what a nice watch, and then they can tell their story about this really vintage watch which they found in a small shop in France or in Hong Kong or wherever. So collecting watches, many CEOs and other people, especially men, like that. I can make the list longer and longer and longer, but the last thing on my list here is what CEOs like is to have friends in high places. Of course, the CEO already is in a high place, but it's nice to have friends in high places, other CEOs of important companies, and that you can say, well, I recently spoke to Bill Gates, or I spoke to Tim Cook, or I was at the World Economic Forum, and so they like to have friends in high places. Royalty. Yeah, I was speaking to the King of the Netherlands, and he was very interested in what we were doing. Blah, blah, blah. So many more things, but for you as a CHRO, as an HR professional, take this list into account and show that you understand the CEO, and then maybe the CEO will like you. Success. If you like this channel, subscribe. If you want more, go to the YouTube channel, link to me on LinkedIn, go to the website of the HR Trend Institute, and well, I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.